So if we'd kept with the status quo, things would have been okay, I guess. But we did see a significant reduction in the amount of time that we spent on dealing with AP as a service. In fact, we've quantified that to be about a 30% savings.
At Enkel, you provide bookkeeping services for hundreds of SMBs throughout Canada, specializing specifically in nonprofits. Can you describe some of the unique challenges you face across payment operations when working with these NPO clients and how they impacted your business operations and the ability to keep clients satisfied?
One of the biggest challenges that NPOs face is approvals. Approvals are important in a not-for-profit context. There's usually an approval by the person making the expenditure. There are approvals that then have to go to the board level. There's governance. Governance exists for a reason in these organizations. But that makes the payment operations of not-for-profit organizations inherently more complex. I remember early on in my days at Enkel, and I was speaking to an accountant friend of mine, and he said, "We drive checks around town. So the executive director prepares them, the operations coordinator drives them to the treasurer who signs off on them." And I thought there has to be a better way of doing things. Seeing a not-for-profit organization struggle with approvals, that was one turning point for us and a place where we really started thinking that we needed a solution better than, driving checks around town or allowing our clients to drive checks around town. But the other was cash flow, right? Looking at our clients, the inability to understand what's in the bank, what's coming in, what's going out. We knew we needed a better workflow. And so in implementing a tool that allows us to batch payments and to control approvals, that became really important, I would say, quite early on in our journey. We started using Plooto early days, but then we continued to use other platforms. And what we found is we just had inconsistent processes, client to client. Approval processes were different. And this was leading to inefficiency on our side and also not the best result for our clients. And so the second turning point was really when we went all in on Plooto. And Plooto became really the only payment tool that we supported. So we got all of our clients off of what they were using if it was not Plooto and onto Plooto so that we could have one consistent workflow and process.
What would it have cost your business in terms of time and money to not change anything and keep with the status quo?
Things would have been okay, I guess. But we did see a significant reduction in the amount of time that we spent on dealing with AP as a service. In fact, we've quantified that to be about a 30% savings.
What were some of the points that you were looking for when evaluating a new solution?
The way that we see ourselves is we are a tech-enabled accounting services provider. So service is at our core. What we do is, a service that we're delivering. But the technology that allows us to do that better is really critical. And so we were looking for a tool that effectively automated what we were doing in a manual way, right? Instead of emailing out approvals, could we get them done in an automated fashion? And so that was really important to us. I'd say secondarily, just because we're a services business, one thing that was really critical was a responsive service desk, ultimately. And so when we were evaluating, who we would partner with, that was a really critical element.